Welcome to practice. I'm Donna Cavanough. We're going to begin standing today, and you don't need any other props, but a blanket. A blanket is always handy for padding when we do our work on the floor. Find your Tadasana, and we're going to have the feet under the hips for that. So the feet are parallel, and that means your knees are looking straight ahead. Nice. And floppy arms up. And as you forward bend, floppy arms down and sweep them up beside you so the palms reach up to the ceiling. And then coming back up. And we're just going to make these little movements, just starting to get in touch with how the body feels. You can let yourself feel nice and elastic. We're going to add in standing up onto the tiptoes, if that is a challenge for you, and you can hold your balance. So when you lift up, you're up on your tiptoes. And coordinating the movement and the breath. So when you're lifting up, you're inhaling. And when you're exhaling, the front of the body is contracted. Nice and elastic. And you can go as slow or as fast as feels good. Nice one. Let's step the feet out to a wide distance. So the feet are still parallel. And just leaning your torso from side to side. And you can start to bring the arms with you. So if you lean to the left, it's the right arm reaches. Nice work. We're going to wave the spine forward. So bend your knees a little bit. And spinal wave all the way from the sacrum to the neck. Finding your supple movement along the spine. There's an opposite direction. Tuning in to each little joint, even down to the way the tailbone tips up. If you think of the spine all the way to the tailbone, so including those joints, either side of the top and bottom of the pelvis, you get the pelvis moving a little bit more. Nice work. And you can jump or hop or just gently step your feet back to your Tadasana. Take one shoulder up to the ear and back, and then the opposite shoulder. So shoulder rolls one at a time. Good, and hands in front of your heart. Make a little squat, and your little squat means your knees are bent, so your legs are starting to work, lifting the quadriceps. We want to make sure that we're not crunching the lower back. So draw the front core in to really support the spine, lifting the breastbone. finding the flow of your breath. This is Utkatasana, or powerful pose. So feeling that lovely support in your leg. Make sure your toes are touching down and dip as deeply as your knees are happy with. And then if your shoulders are okay, you can take your arms straight up by your ears. I have to help my left arm with one. Beautiful. And then we're going to come up to straight. Take the arms all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. And then come into a forward bend. Just be halfway and put your hands up on your thighs. So not pressing your knees, but just resting on your thighs. And arch your spine up and down, finding that movement right down to the tailbone again. Notice when you arch the spine up, so you're in your hunchback shape, the front body is contracted. And then that natural intake of breath as you arch the spine down, open the front body. Do a couple more. Hold the spine down so you're in your back bend shape. You can feel the whole spine pressing towards the front body, and the front body is spacious. Take some deep breath. Good, and we've probably got the legs bent. We're going to reach the spine a little further forward and take your hands where they make sense for you, further down your legs or onto the floor. And then starting to straighten your legs. And if you're doing one at a time, hold it for long enough to really feel the stretch. So don't skip by it. Or try both together. Try to keep that feeling of the bones of the spine pressing forward. The front body is spacious, taking some nice deep breaths. Keep space in the back of the neck. Draw the shoulder blades back. Nice work. And we're going to roll up and arms up. Urdhva Hastasana. Good. And Tadasana. Great. We're going to come to the short front of the mat now. Tadasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Uttanasana. Bones of the spine pressing forward. Good. Come up. Urdhva Hastasana. Tadasana. Step your left foot back, and we want a distance front to back foot where the back heel is pressing down and the feet are about hip width distance apart. Take the arms up by the ears, and we're going to take the torso forward. We want to feel like we're really supported in the core body as we do that. Strong legs. So reach as far forward as you can. And then we're going to make a little circle with the whole torso and the arms. So you could draw a circle in the air beyond your fingertips. And then the other direction. And then reaching the arms out in front. Beautiful. And then we're going to lift up from there. Step forward and balance on your right foot. Bring the left foot in front. And take a hold that challenges you. So if you're quite wobbly, you can keep your left tiptoes on the floor. If you can lift your foot higher, do that. If you can hold your knee, try that. And if you can hold your foot, try holding with your left hand. and keeping your leg as much in line with your left ribs as you can. Good. And then when you go to put that foot down, don't just fall back into position, but find the floor. And then transfer your weight. Tadasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Uttanasana. Find your forward bend where your front body feels spacious and the back of your legs are starting to stretch. So we're trying to avoid the hunchback shape and make that valley shape all the way along the spine. Good. And then we roll up from here. Arms up. And Tadasana. So we're going to step back from Tadasana with the right foot. So we want to stretch for the back of the back leg, but the heel to press down on the floor. And we've got the feet about hip width distance, parallel. Take the arms up by the ears. Reach the torso forward over the front leg and feel the core body really holding the spine supported. Good. And then drawing a circle with the whole arm and torso, as though you had pencils in your fingers. You're drawing a little circle in the air beyond. So that the core body is lifting and stabilizing. And then in the other direction, sorry, I've got a cramp in my leg. I need to drink water. Good, and then we're going to lift up. Release your arms, step forward and balance onto your left leg. Good, take the balance hold. That challenges you. And if you're just starting to be able to reach your foot, try and hold with the right hand. Try to keep the limb in line with the right ribs. Good. And then before you put the foot down, finding where it's going to go and then transferring your weight. Tadasana. Good. We're going to lift up onto the right tiptoes and bend the left knee. Bring the hands in front of your heart. If you can place your right heel on your left knee and hold your balance, then do that. Otherwise, keep your tiptoes on the floor. So right heel, left knee. And you bend as deeply into your left knee as your knee is comfortable with. Keeping the torso lifting, spaciousness around the heart, and the right knee is dropping out to the right side. Good, lifting up straight your left leg and taking the right foot to find the floor and then transferring weight. Feet hip width, hands at the heart in Namaste. Spacious around your heart and relaxed in your shoulders. Good. Bend the right knee a little and lift up onto the left tiptoes. See how you go, putting your left heel on your right knee and the left knee drops out. The work here is to be curious about how deeply the right knee can bend, but keeping that feeling of spaciousness around your heart, ease in your shoulders and your neck. Beautiful, and lifting back up. Whoa, trying to find a floor before you put your foot down. Tadasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Uttanasana. We're going to hold our forward bend. So find somewhere to put your hands that helps your back, on your legs or on the floor. Make sure you're pressing all of the bones of the spine forward. You might find yourself looking forward, finding the deep breath. Good, we're going to straighten both of the legs, or as straight as you can get them, lifting your kneecaps, your sit bones, having the weight a little bit forward in the feet. Good. Reach your torso over to the left side without swinging the right hip forward. Good. Take your hands down either to the outside of your left leg or onto the floor, and really reach with your right hand. So keep the right hip reaching back, but reaching to the left as far as you can with your right hand. Ah, yes. And back to center. And then over to the right side and really, really reaching with your left hand. The left hip wants to come forward. Keep reaching it back. Neck relax. Good. And then back to the center. And we're going to roll up. Take the arms up. Urdhva Hastasana. And then Tadasana, your mountain pose. Feet under your hips, knees looking forward. Urdhva Hastasana. Uttanasana. We're going to lift back up. Urdhva Hastasana. Hands in front of your heart. Big step back with the left foot. And the front leg is going to be bent here. And we're going to lift the arms up by the ears for Virabhadrasana 1. Letting the hips drop forward, but lifting the front core of the body, the heart. Drawing the shoulder blades down, making space. And feeling the flow of breath. Really straightening through the back leg. Beautiful. From here, bring your hands in front of your heart. Reach your torso forward over your bent leg and press the back heel back. And we're going to take the arms beside the torso, palms up, and lift the palms up to the ceiling. Look forward. Beautiful. We're going to try and lift up, step forward, and be balanced on the right foot in one beautiful, smooth movement. Bring the hands in front of the heart. Find your balance. Challenge. Good. And then finding the floor with just the skin before you transfer your weight. Tadasana, Urdhva Hastasana, Uttanasana. Lifting back up, Urdhva Hastasana, arms by the ears. Hands in Namaste. Step your right foot back. Bend your front knee. Good. And we're going to lift the arms up by the ears for Virabhadrasana 1. Pressing the back heel. Letting the hips sink a little further forward. Beautiful. Reach your torso forward. Take the arms beside you, palms up, and lift them up to the ceiling. Press the back heel. Take the spine longer and longer, making the space for the breath. Just step forward and lift up and be balanced on the left foot, right foot in front. Take your balance hold, whatever that might be. If you're just starting to be able to hold your foot, you're trying to keep the right leg in line with the right hips. Right hip. Right ribs, I meant to say. Good, and as always, trying to find the floor before you transfer your weight. Tadasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Uttanasana. In your Uttanasana, put your hands where it makes sense, on your legs or on the floor. We're going to turn the toes in to touch each other, big toes touching. So pigeon toe. Lift up a little, so lift the torso until you know you've got your back bend shape, and then reach yourself forward again. So the stretch in the legs will be different this time, not just the legs, the hips, even along the sacrum. Relax your toes. Straighten your leg. Lift your kneecaps, your sit bones. Good. And then we'll bend the knees and roll yourself up. It's going to feel pretty odd from all the work we've done with parallel legs. Urdhva Hastasana. Let your feet back to parallel. Ah, good. Uttanasana. Find your back bend shape. Turn your toes out this time. You can put your heels in a little if you need to. The toes are out. Make sure you've got your back bend shape, and then try to straighten your leg. Good. And then bend your knees and come all the way up. It's going to feel weird. Urdhva Hastasana, and let your feet back to parallel. So both arms up by the ears. I just can't show you that. Good. And then Tadasana. Great. Now, squatting. Because you're at home, you might have something that you could hang on to out in front. What I'm going to do is just put my hands out in front. So I've got a counterweight. But if you have something sturdy, like the seat of a couch or the arm of a couch, that's not going to shift, you could use that. We're going to turn the toes out a little, and the heels are a little bit wider than the hips. So arms out in front, and you bend just to where your knees feel healthy to do so. So some people, if you're working with an injury or you're recovering, you may be only able to bend the knees a little. If you can go further, what we're trying to do is keep the heels on the floor. And you're going to adjust your center of gravity to keep the heels on the floor. Whoa, which is why I have to reach out so far in front. And then we're going to lift the pelvic, press the heels and lift up. Okay, so if I do that facing, where your feet are positioned, you want that to help your knees be comfortable. So it feels best for me to have my heels about hip width, but my toes face in the same direction the knees go. So adjust your feet as you need to. They can be wider, the angle of your feet can be different, and never force your knees. So let's go again. And you find where your knees are able to do that. And if you have to stop just a little way down, that's fine. really work on lifting the pelvic floor, lifting the spine, being spacious around the heart. Good. And if you're able to go further, I need to reach my hands out to keep my feet on the floor, or you could be holding on to something, as I suggested before. So we keep the heels down. And then we really lift the pelvic floor, try to lift the torso, press the heels down and lifting back up again. Good. And we're going to do one more of these in an effort to then kneel down onto the floor. So I'm going to be here on my mat, so I land somewhere in the center. Finding your malasana might be just a little one. You might be able to take your sit bones down close to your heels. Good. And yes, see if it's in movement. You can help yourself with your hands if you need to bring your knees gently to the floor. You're in a kneeling position now with the toes tucked under. If it's too strong in your feet, just do it with your hands on the floor in front. So you can get that little toe stretch and your body starts to get the hang of that. Otherwise, we put the weight on the feet. Added extra. Good. And then we are going to kneel. Kneeling might be out of the question for some people. If you're recovering from a knee injury, that can be the case. And so you're going to sit on a blanket. Just put your legs comfortably in front of you. Kneeling people, I've just doubled my blanket over to make a nice little block. If you have a yoga block, they're ideal. And you put that under your sit bones. Ankles nice and tidy under the hips. And the feet are parallel. So if I had more support under my sit bones, then the angle in the knees would be less of an angle. And that might be what you need, so a little footstool or something like that. But with kneeling, we start to stretch these big muscles, the quadriceps in the front of the thighs. So finding your upright spine and really reach the spine up and the shoulder blades relax down. The shoulders feel nice and spacious, neck spacious. Good. We're going to take the arms out to the side and then cross your right upper arm over your left. And you're reaching to try and hold your palms or your thumbs. Or if, like me, you're a little unable to do that in your shoulders at the moment, put your hands on your shoulders. So for Garudasana arms. Relax the shoulder blades down. Relax the neck and throat. Sitting tall. Feel the front core of the body helping to lift the spine. Good. And you might find that you can take your elbows up away from the floor, your hands further away from your face. But just keeping space for the neck and shoulders. Lovely. And then we're going to release that side. And then the opposite side is the left upper arm over the right. And then we reach for either the thumbs, I'm a long way off, or the hands. Good. Or you can hold your shoulders. Relaxing the shoulder blades down, neck and throat relax. Use the core body to lift the spine. You can even press your knees down here. You might be able to take the elbows away from the floor and the hands away from the face. Ah, good. And then we're going to release. Beautiful. And releasing yourself from your kneeling position. And we're going to take a seat onto a blanket. Both legs or both feet out in front. Take hold of your knee and arch your spine up and down or forward and back. Mm. Mm. Bring the spine forward and feel that the front core of your body is really holding support for the spine. So squeeze the belly towards the spine. Lift the pelvic floor. Good. Okay, so we've got feet on the floor and the hands are holding the knees. And every time we add a little bit to this posture, it makes it more difficult for the core body. So I don't want you to strain your back. So you only work where it's the right feeling for you. So try first, hands off the knees. So if that was no good, then go back to holding your hands on your knee. All right, then the next one we do is tip back a little, but really with that good core support and lift the feet off the floor. Woohoo. Great. And what we're going to try and do is pedal the leg. So we're going to take the left leg out towards straight, bring it back to center, and then the right leg out towards straight and bring it back to center. And you're really using the core body so that the spine stays supported and healthy. No feeling of strain. So if there was, just go back to where you were able to do this posture, which is just a simple hold. Nice work. And then we're going to do a forward bend. And that's going to be either cross-legged position or wide-legged position if that suits your knees better. Cross-legged position. Lengthening the spine. Lengthening the torso. Let's reach forward as far as makes sense for your back and put your hands where they make sense. So that might be behind your hips or maybe hands in front of your legs. So reaching forward and finding where it feels like that's all the movement you have. And let's just follow the breath now. So there is no notion of what can and can't be done, but simply exploring the feeling in your body of resistance, of spaciousness, following the breath. Good. So we're going to take the torso now over to the left. Keep your forward movement. Feel right. Still the right. Center. Bring the bones of your spine forward. Walking your torso around to the right side. Reaching with your left hand this time, your left arm. And then to center. Following the breath. Curious as to your spaciousness. Nice work. Come on. Swap the legs. If you have your legs crossed. And we're going to take the torso forward again. Find the bones of your spine pressing forward. Find as far as you reach forward, wherever that is. And then just following your breath. And then coming up. Nice work. Let's take laying down. Arms beside the torso, palms down, legs bent, feet hip width and parallel, so the legs are parallel. Lift just the tailbone and feel your lower back press to the floor and the belly hollow. Take some deep breaths into the belly. Good. And then we're going to lift the tailbone all the way up so that the pelvis lifts, and then bone by bone of your spine. And you're going to keep lifting bone by bone as high as you can. And we want to feel each joint of the spine. Also, keep your legs parallel. Notice the knees might want to go out to the side. So we're holding that lovely form. Bring the bones of the spine back to the floor one by one. And then release. And then again, just the tailbone. And then sacrum. And then each separate vertebra. Take your time. Feel that you can breathe deeply. As high as you can, keeping the form of the legs. And then lower. Don't know if you heard that. That was my tummy. Good. And then releasing. We're going to hug the knees into the chest. And just holding passively as your back relaxes. Such a nice posture. For keeping the spine healthy. And then you can see what it feels like to rock a little bit from side to side. And this massages across the sacrum. Nice little self-massage there. Good. And then we'll do our happy baby pose. Leaving for the for your feet with your as wide as they'll go and the knees bent. And try straightening one leg. And then you release that and up. Bring the legs back to the floor, the feet back to the floor. Left heel, right knee, and the lower half of the body rolls to the right, and you might even reach all the way to the floor. Try to keep your left shoulder blade on the floor. You can turn to look in that direction. Letting the back lengthen. Use your core awareness when you lift your leg and feet back to the floor, and right heel to the left knee, lower half of the body rolls to the left, right shoulder blade stays on the floor, and letting go. Just giving in to the shape of the posture. Good, and then core awareness as you bring your legs back up to center, rocking a little from side to side. Good, we'll roll over to the right side. And come up to sitting. Hands in front of the heart. Feeling the flow of your breath. And take the feeling of the practice with you. Namaste.